Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Oklahoma City take game 1 of the Western Conference Final. Game 2 scheduled for tonight. We talked about the craziness last night between the Knicks and Pacers. SGA, the new MVP of the league. We'll mix in some thoughts on that. How does Tatum fit into the NBA's hierarchy when he comes back? Is there a new face of the NBA? 617-779-7937. Real quick, Keefe. The Twitch chat is discussing the...
They hopping today?
Well, they usually are.
Yeah.
The weather out there.
Oh, it's gloomy.
Matty H.
Cold.
Could the Red Sox just cancel the game now? What's the point of waiting?
No, they're going to get you in there.
I mean, it's not a bad point. Who said this?
It's supposed to be terrible tomorrow, though, too.
Well, good point.
Maybe like all week. I guess better each day, I think I heard.
But it's a literal nor'easter out there.
Yeah. It's like 40 degrees.
Which my son was very baffled by that term.
The nor'easter?
My wife mentioned that when we were sitting at dinner last night. She goes, we're supposed to get a nor'easter. He's very confused with the term.
Good weather talk at the Jones dinner table?
And he goes, Dad, what's a nor'easter? And I go... I was like, what actually is one?
So the Easter Bunny shows up,
and
he's just handing out eggs.
Just a storm in the Northeast? What actually is a nor'easter?
I think there is like a scientific explanation for it.
Okay.
I was
a little put on the spot by the 7-year-old last night. He's like, Dad, what's a nor'easter?
Great question.
They think you know everything.
It's a weather event.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. We're getting a storm. That's pretty much how I explained it. We live in the Northeast. It's a storm. That was how I explained it. But, yeah, they're not getting this game.
A nor'easter is a storm along the east coast of North America.
East Coast?
Yeah.
So you can get a nor'easter and...
Characterized by strong northeasterly winds.
Thank you, Nick.
So you can get
I'm also reading the same thing.
It's windy. Yeah, we're on the same page.
You can get a nor'easter in, like, Wilmington, North Carolina. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's windy.
Okay. It's the northeast wind is what it is.
You may get some coastal flooding as well. Sometimes snow. See, that's what's confusing as a kid growing up in New England. You hear the nor'easter term quite a bit. Sometimes it applies to snow. Sometimes it's just rain.
It is very baffling.
So I'm like, is it rain, snow, or sunny, or cloudy? I only need like 4 things.
I read the great state of Vermont and also New Hampshire could get some snow. Could get some snow in this storm.
Snow?
Memorial weekend snow in like northern Vermont.
Well, Mount Washington normally is covered.
That's
covered.
That's a good point.
It's like July 12th. They're like, we got 2 inches of snow up here at Mount Washington.
It'll be some snow on the old man's grave is what it'll be.
Well, let's just leave him out of this.
May he rest in peace.
He had a good run, though.
The old man of the mountain had a great run.
He had a great run.
One of the greatest.
He's one of the symbols of the state.
Mike is in Framingham, wants to discuss the Red Sox. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
First, I want to agree with you on Cora doing a lousy job on and off the field this year. But anyway, here's my solution for the fact that the Red Sox can't hit. Put Story on the injured list. You can make up some injury. They do that all the time. Send Rafaela Cedella and Kristen Campbell back to the minors.
Sure.
Have Campbell work on the first base and have the 2 of them learn how to hit. And bring up Mayer to play shortstop, Anthony to play the outfield, and the kid that they got for sale to come up and play second base. You can't do any worse from a hitting point than what these people have been doing so far.
All right, good solution by Mike.
We love it.
Send down Campbell, call up Grissom, along with Meyer and Anthony, yeah.
Which has been our plan all along.
Well, that part of it, for sure, yeah.
So teach Campbell how to play first, teach the other guys how to hit, get rid of Story. Story stinks.
So Carabas has been beating the drum that Story needs to learn how to play first. I don't.
Yeah, or something else.
Yeah, how about
learn how to ride the bench?
Learn the bench.
Or hit.
Exactly.
I was looking since that Chicago series when he went off with like the home run. He's hitting 130.
Learn the bench.
Can we get the Adam Silver meme? You better get ready to learn bench, buddy. Yeah, he's been awful, and so like is Marcelo Meyer now at this point? You are manipulating just service time, or you don't have a spot for him. Like, you got a spot for him.
You have spots.
He already said he'd be willing to play any position, so that would open up second base, maybe even open up first base. Or if you want him to play his natural position, that guy's not winning the job right now.
Nope.
I'm with was it Mike? I'm with him.
Mike,
bring Meyer in and play short.
One of the better plans I've heard, Mike. I
Maybe
wouldn't say it was all
plan.
perfect.
Campbell also in a huge funk.
Okay, I was just going to
He
bring that
can't
up.
hit a lick. The only guys hitting right now are like Narvaez and Devers.
Okay. Christian Campbell month by month, just because it's easy to sort that out.
Yeah, he started hot as a pistol.
Oh, my goodness. Did he ever?
Hotter than a pistol.
Only a few games in March, but he hit 375 in March.
Still count.
287 in April. That's still nice.
Yeah.
Good OPS, 844, 848 rather,
We're
OPS.
3 weeks into May.
3 homers in April.
Oh, yeah.
Into May.
Touch them all.
He is hitting 094.
Sorry?
That's 5 for his last 53. He has scored a run.
He got all run?
he does have a home run. He scored his only run he scored was a home run.
Well, because he's not on base.
Yeah, and he has 3 RBIs. That might have all happened. Was that all in the same thing? The run, the
Yeah, it
home
was a
run.
3-run home run. Yeah.
Was it a 3 or 2?
I think it might have been a
Thought it was a
3-run
three-run
home run. So all of his offense was from one swing.
Unless he had a
Basically.
sack flying there somewhere.
Basically, now he did bleed out a hit last night.
Yeah.
So maybe he's heating up.
That could be the sign of things to come.
But the problem with Christian Campbell being the solution at first is that all of a sudden you look up and he's hitting 231 with a 698 OPS.
I don't love that.
I mean, that Campbell.
I'll tell you, their cleanup hitter and their first baseman, and a lot of times it's been the same.
Yeah.
It's just like a black hole. Like whoever is hitting cleanup can't. Whoever is playing first base for the most part can't. I know Willie Abreu was hitting cleanup last night. They moved Campbell down to fifth. I don't know. It's been a mess.
Great, Bob.
Sogard actually had a couple of knocks and a run. The lone run scored.
Yeah,
Nicholas John Sogard.
I mean, somehow he's not the worst hitter in the lineup. I don't know how that's possible.
No.
But somehow
His
he's not.
story is just, you're getting nothing there. What's the excuse? Because for years it was like, oh, he's just hurt. He's hurt.
Yeah, right. No, now he's very healthy.
He also sucked in the field last night.
Too healthy.
Yeah,
You think that's what it is? He's like, guys, I'm used to breaking down by now. I'm too healthy. I'm feeling too good. Maybe is part of the problem. One more Red Sox item. I know we were planning to talk some NBA. We'll get to it here in a moment. At 617-779-7937. You brought this up to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Hendricks got into it with the Boston Globe prior to the game, complaining about his usage. He went out and pitched terribly last night. So I think those things are fair to say. Apparently, he's getting death threats. You brought this up to me.
So, yeah, which is just insane.
I feel like we don't.
We shouldn't. I mean, there's no other side to this.
No,
there's
right.
no argument here. But I saw
Reprehensible.
Dan Roach retweeted retweeted somebody who. Actually, this must be on Liam Hendricks' Instagram story. He just said, just as a FYI, threats against my life and my wife's life are horrible and cruel. You need help. And then he goes on to this whole thing, which, yeah, I think that kind of goes without saying.
Yeah, I don't think.
Or so we thought.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It goes without saying. I mean, there's no other side to that. Reprehensible. But apparently Liam Hendricks dealing with that.
Yep.
In the meantime, he's frustrated with the situation. Alex Cora hasn't properly communicated that to him. Alex Cora did not communicate to Garrett Crochet it was going to be a light night for Garrett Crochet, who said he was good for 110, 115, 7-8 innings last night.
So basically, Crochet and Hendricks want to pitch more. Cora wants them to pitch less.
Correct.
Got it.
Because he's so busy throwing all the relievers extra innings like he's been doing, some of his starters as well. And then the communication with Devers has been poor. So the pressure is ratcheting up on Alex Cora. We'll talk about it with Rob Bradford for his weekly appearance. He joins us at 11:30 every Thursday here on Jones and Keefe. We do have a new MVP in the NBA, Keefe.
Yeah, not my MVP. He won pretty
handily.
Not unanimously, but he got 71 out of the 100 votes.
So first place votes, he got 71. Jokic got 29.
How would I given it to Jokic? But
me too.
Whatever.
So the vote total really wasn't that close. 100 plus votes between SGA and Jokic at the end of the day for MVP. So
Next couple of days, there's going to be a lot of beer probably.
Definitely my MVP.
Yeah.
Jokic.
He probably had an extra beer when he found out he wasn't the MVP.
Yeah. Runner up.
So yeah, he wouldn't be my MVP either. But focusing out west, especially, Keith, and maybe where we're not giving enough credit to Brunson and specifically Halliburton, but focusing specifically out west, people have been itching to have the face of the league conversation. We here in Boston, prior to his injury, were itching to try to get Jayson Tatum wedged into that conversation some way, somehow. Is it fair to say if SGA or Anthony Edwards wins a title this year, and one of those guys are going to be playing in the NBA Finals,
yeah,
is it fair to say that guy is taking the mantle as the next guy in the league?
Yeah, I think for now they would be. Now, do you think the next guy or the face of the league, can it be or has it ever been a non-American player?
Well, that's what's interesting with SGA, right?
He's Canadian. It's different than, like a German player or a Serbian player or a Spanish player. But
was Steve Nash ever the face of the NBA?
I don't know if Nash was. I'm not sure Giannis was. I don't even know if Jokic was. I think he's acknowledged as the best player.
Right. I don't think Jokic is. When you think the league, you probably still think LeBron before Jokic.
But a kid from Toronto is probably as close as you can without being American. But when it rolls around Team USA and all that stuff, and if they actually they were talking about doing the All-Star game, maybe USA versus the world next year, he wouldn't be on Team USA. So I wonder if that, if Anthony Edwards, for example, has more of a chance of doing that, even though SGA was the MVP. He's going to be first-team All-NBA for 3 consecutive years. He was runner-up in the MVP last year, right? He and Jokic just flip-flopped from last year to this year.
Yep.
And then winning the title, being the guy that wins the title, that obviously is going to vault you to the top. So Because I don't think it's unanimous that he's the league's best player, right?
SGA?
Yeah.
No,
I think it's Jokic. I think
not.
most people think it's Jokic.
Yeah.
He just had the MVP season, right? Maybe like the year.
Yeah, SGA is really good.
Yeah.
If Tatum were healthy, I wouldn't trade Tatum for SGA straight up. I wouldn't do that.
I would also not trade Tatum for SGA.
And so, like...
would you rather have Edwards or SGA? Edwards is like 4 years younger, I think.
Yeah, probably Edwards. I was going to say...
Because SGA is basically Tatum's age. He's like 4 months younger, I think.
Yeah.
They're the same age.
Edwards is sneaky. Right. Edwards is sneaky, kind of tiny, but it's not like
Tiny?
SGA is huge either. Yeah, how tall is he?
Oh, I bet he's 6'5". What do you think? Edwards?
He's listed at 6'4".
The Ant-Man?
Yeah.
He plays bigger.
He does play bigger. I would probably lean Edwards on that one based on age.
No, but SGA is really good. I don't know. I just don't think... And usually market doesn't really matter in the NBA. Like Kevin Durant won an MVP and was super famous playing for the Thunder. But that's another slight knock. Like he's a Canadian playing for Oklahoma City. So it's not like you're an American playing for LA
right.
or New York even, right? Like I think those guys would have a better shot at being like the true face of the league. Is SGA in a lot of like national commercials? Maybe he is. I don't even notice.
Well, it's never just him. It's like him and Holmgren and J-Dub.
Yeah.
They're all like share T-Mobile spots or whatever those are. He's
is he
in
in those Nike ads that have like 10 people in them too? Maybe. So okay, he doesn't really stand out from the crowd.
No, Edwards is more marketable than him.
Definitely. He's been in movies.
Tatum's more marketable than him. Yeah.
Edwards is a good actor.
Is he?
Yeah, he was in Hustle. He was like the bad guy in Hustle, the Adam Sandler basketball movie.
Oh, I was thinking Hustle and Flow, the Terrence Howard.
No, he wasn't in that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say he would have been like 6 on that.
That was a big year for Terrence Howard. He was in, I think, Crash and Hustle and Flow.
That was all the same year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now he's doing podcasts with Rogan where he's just doing like math equations. You heard some? I think we did a Kiefer Madness on Terrence Howard.
Not with me.
He has a lot to say about a lot of things, and I guess people have looked into it. Not sure how factually correct a lot of it is.
Yeah. You know,
pretty sure he says he remembers being born.
Yeah, that's right, Bill.
Oh, I've seen that.
And he remembers a lot of like equations, and he'll be like, "We're in a room right now. Room starts with the letter R. Rich starts with the letter R. Like, and then he'll be like, that over there is red, also with the letter R." And you're like, okay.
Yeah, his mind is Zach Galifianakis in Hangover when he's playing blackjack.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you're like, I don't know if any of that is right.
All right. I'm going to be honest. If you remember being born, I feel bad for you. That's
he's never the same.
Yeah, watch your father passed out.
What a wild scene.
It's freezing out here.
Yeah. Let me back in.
Yeah, I got to. That's not a memory I would want.
I'm for sure glad I forgot that.
Yeah. Most people forget that for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think you have to.
But Anthony Edwards, great actor, though.
Anthony Edwards, though, good actor.
Yeah,
I think he has a better chance of being sort of the face. But I think what we're seeing is the league, super talented. There's guys all over the place. You look at like Halliburton, like the run that he's on, Brunson, even guys that got knocked out in the last round aren't old. Tatum, Brown, Donovan Mitchell. Like there's still a bunch of guys. And some of the old guys are still kind of hanging on. It felt like this is a year, like a passing of the torch type of year. But also I wonder if we get into this pattern where guys don't win back-to-back, because don't you think when you look at like true faces of the leagues in the last 25 years, it's guys that are in the finals all the time.
Yeah,
it's like
LeBron,
Jordan,
Curry.
Kobe, Shaq. Duncan would have been, I think, if he had more of a personality. But like, yeah, Kobe, LeBron, Curry, all those guys. It's easier to do that than, hey, made the finals one year, bounce in the second round, maybe back to the finals. So I think with Oklahoma City, it might be one of those. All right, not only is SGA going to be in that territory, but the Thunder themselves, I know they haven't won it yet, but they're going to be looked at kind of like the Celtics next year. Going into next year, you're going to be like, you guys are super young, like you better repeat. And then if they don't, they're having the same conversation.
I want to tell you right now, I mean, I don't know that we need to have this discussion yet, but you can make an argument the Thunder this year are more dominant than the Celtics a year ago. I mean, their scoring differential, their win total, they're definitely facing healthy teams and a tougher road in the postseason. Like, I think what the Thunder are doing if they win is going to be more impressive than what the Celtics did last year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade-off in titles.
Oh, yeah, they won more games this year than the 08 Celtics did. Let alone last year.
68?
68 wins.
One more.
No. 2.
No, I'm saying they needed one more.
Oh, would have been nice.
Would have been
almost
nice. Yeah, 2 more would have been, a very rare club.
Yeah, just 2 teams, right?
But 1 more would have been nice. But yeah, but I'm saying like that's a team that I would sit there and go, yeah, the Celtics one-off title, the OKC one-off title, OKC was more impressive. Can Tatum get back into this discussion? Because he's never really been in. I think we try to have it in Boston. I don't think he's ever really a part of the is Jayson Tatum the face of the league.
He's in a weird. Oh, so
he's truly never been in the MVP discussion. This tied for the closest he's been.
Fourth.
He was fourth, and he was a distant fourth, right? Like the third place votes broke down 88 for Giannis, 11 for Tatum, 1 for Mitchell.
Yeah.
So he was closer to Mitchell at 5 than he was to Giannis at 3 based on those votes. I guess the total votes, that's not exactly how it broke down.
No, but he was fourth. So the last 4 years.
But like a distant fourth, yeah.
He went 6th, 4th, 6th, 4th, and they haven't put this out yet. I think it comes out tomorrow, but he'll be All-NBA first team for 4 straight years, which is nothing to sneeze at.
No.
But he's in like a weird territory where he is an automatic first-team All-NBA guy, but he's not a true MVP candidate, which is a weird kind of like spot. Like it basically means every year there are 3 guys that are either better than you or just have a better season than you, but you're better than the rest of the league. 99.9% of the league, you're better than. So the question is, like, who knows how he recovers from the injury? But if you play it out kind of like Durant was a couple years older when he got the injury, and then he came back and he kind of peaked out at second-team All-NBA. So if you say, well, you can still do that, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's younger, maybe he recovers a little bit better, or he has more of a runway for his prime. I think he can, because I'm still hopeful that in 2027, Tatum and Brown are teammates again. Neither are 30. And if they have a run and go on a deep playoff run, then I think he's right in the same conversation. Unless you think like SGA wins 2 or 3 straight titles,
right,
then like you really distance yourself. But like the way the league is gone, I certainly wouldn't predict that.
No. I guess I got to see how the offseason shakes out. We got to see who even wins the title. But I probably would be feeling like OKC could win back-to-back. But I thought the Celtics could win back-to-back. I thought Denver could win back-to-back.
Because like if Edwards loses this round, for example, like he's a very marketable star and he's very young, and he's fun to watch. He's a good sound bite and everything else. But if they lose in the conference finals again,
it's 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and then next year, like if they also don't make the finals, then by the time Tatum comes back, Tatum's going to be far more decorated, even with a lost season, than Edwards is.
That's true. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the highest he ever finishes in the MVP vote.
Well, yeah, it might be. And that's not even fourth. Like, that's not bad.
No, and so, but I just think people need to wrap their heads around that. Like,
you think he'll be All-NBA again?
I think he'll be All-NBA, but
second or third team.
I would bet against him being first team again. And if you're not first team, you're not really in the MVP discussion.
You're not
and
first
I think,
or last.
Well, you're not last, but just you're never really a part of that. I don't even know that he's ever really truly been a part of the MVP discussion.
Yeah.
Maybe when he's had a hot month here or there where, like, could he win it in, like, February? But never at the end of the day has he really, truly been. He's never been a finalist. There are 3 finalists. He's never been a finalist.
Right.
I don't think he's ever going to be one. Never mind win the MVP. I don't think he's going to be a finalist.
Yeah, but I kind of felt that way prior to the Achilles injury.
True. I mean, maybe
we argued with
maybe
Terp about this. Terp was like, Terp thought, eventually with all the team success, maybe he would get a MVP. I'm like, I don't think so. I don't see it happening. And you know what? When he comes back, and if the team itself isn't as loaded, you actually have a better chance.
Well, that's what I think.
If you don't have a bunch of, if everybody looks at them as having the best roster, so you don't get as much credit for the success. So if he comes back and it's him, Brown, couple like scrubby type guys, and they still win.
Shireman.
Yeah, and they still win 60 games, and you might be like, oh.
Yeah,
that guy looks more.
No, that would go longer for the individual, worse for the team, but it would go further for the individual accolades for sure.